Hello, and welcome to the Scribbles podcast, where I, Brandy, sit down with some of my friends and talk about art. You might have guessed I will be your lovely host. And with me today is Liv.
Hi.
And Alexia.
Hello.
Today we'll be going into the depths of art with our special guest, Miss Ibrahimovic.
Hello.
Let's dive in. All right. How exciting. Okay, so my first little question for you guys is, like, what's your favorite part in, like, your art process, whether it be, like, in different mediums or whatever?
Am I the only one talking about this?
I mean, I can
you
type
guys,
in.
anyone can chime in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for me, where do I want to start? Let me think about it. I had some
I can-
answers.
Okay,
Go
so
for it.
like,
You talk.
me personally, I really like my favorite process is probably like thinking about it because the very little that I draw very off like memories, like good memories I have like from like experience that I have like throughout the day. So it's like I feel like my favorite memory is just like the sketch part and just like reliving the memory and trying to put all the pieces together. So like like I can remember it vividly, like how the colors fit and how like I don't know. I just feel like it's fun to kind of like take a picture of what I'm thinking of, like the memory I thought about, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's my least favorite part.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just like capturing like the silly memory into like a little doodle.
Yeah, that's great. And sketching is so important.
Yeah.
Just getting your ideas down. I have always had like a really bad habit with that, and I'm trying to teach my students better
Yeah.
because I tend to in my own work just wing it, and it's not
So true.
not the best example, to set. But I know what sketchbooks are supposed to look like, and I teach it the right way. But then when I'm in my house at my studio, I just like look at a piece of clay and I'm like, okay, I just start.
Yeah.
Like
For
I don't
Yeah.
plan much.
Yeah. For me with like drawing and sketching and stuff, like I just can't sketch, it just doesn't come easily to me. Like I have to think of something, then like do it. And I think one of my favorite parts is just like when you see the vision in your head like taking place. Because like
yeah.
I paint a lot and sometimes like you just have like blobs of color. It's like that doesn't look like what I wanted. But then when it comes together, it's like, oh, it's so amazing.
So true.
So your favorite part is when it's done.
Yeah.
End.
I would say for me, my favorite part, or I think a lot. I'm constantly thinking. I never stop. So I like when I hear a song, I'm like, oh my God, this little animation would go great with this if this person was moving around like a little stick figure.
Yeah.
I would love to start animating a bit because like I've done like one flip book and it was really bad, but it was a lot of fun. I liked it.
Everyone loved flip books in like elementary.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip books were like the thing. It's
Yeah.
like-
The one I made was like a pencil drawing.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was it? Would it? Train of thought gone. This is when I don't think.
Me personally, I drew like a stack of oranges and then the oranges
Oh,
fell.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
That was my thing.
I like what I drew. I would draw little stick men getting crushed by a bunch
Oh
of rocks.
Okay, well, you see, we all have like different stories, different
Yeah.
imaginations. Look at that.
All right. What is like the part that you hate, or not hate, but like dislike the most? What is like the least fun for you to go through when drawing or like, painting?
Artist block and thinking of something to do. Because I usually have a series of work, and then sometimes I get like overthink it, and then I can't think of the next thing to do, like the next step, like the next project within the series. So the opposite of you.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Because like for me personally, I love sketching and just getting the idea down and be like, yeah, this is a nice memory, this is nice. And then the thing is, now I have to draw. I don't really do that. So it's just like, oh, because it's like I'm still trying to find the art style, which is like a whole different thing that people don't, I feel like, isn't really, like, I feel like a lot of people just like expected to like know their art style, just start drawing and it just comes naturally to them. But it's like, there are just so many. There's so many.
It takes a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that process of finding where you are as an artist is like too much.
I've been struggling for years with my style, but like it's kind of stressful. Like people say like, oh, drawing is so nice and easy, but it's like, no, it isn't. I can't do it good enough.
My style has changed like a lot throughout the years.
Same here.
Like if I, my biggest inspiration was Inuyasha anime. I was like really into that in like the fifth grade, and like beforehand I would just watch like Minecraft, so
Yeah.
I was
So true.
basically just drawing like little doodles in like fifth grade.
My one big inspiration was from this oh god. It was from this like animated music video of a song, of like a parody song from a video game.
Yeah,
And
Say the song.
oh no, it
start
was
singing.
no, I'm not gonna sing it, but
Okay.
it was oh jeez. It was
You're regretting talking
I,
about it.
I am. It was like from Undertale.
Yeah,
The,
this is
um,
beautiful.
the I forgot what it was like called for the Undertale version, but it was like Stronger Than You, and it was like the two main characters. It was. God, don't watch it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Listen.
I'm gonna look it up right after this.
Yeah,
jeez.
don't feel bad. Like, by the way, your art style, it's going to take a long time to find it, and it'll change as well. And just like, don't overthink it. In high school, I was like obsessed with pop, like 90s pop, early 2000s pop. So my subject of choice was Britney Spears
Oh,
for
So real.
a very long time. Like, I have an embarrassing amount of drawings of Britney Spears.
Yeah, no, I feel like we all start somewhere. Like me personally, just so you don't feel so bad about Undertale, I used to take inspiration from Gacha. Like
Oh,
the
God,
Gacha Life,
no.
Gacha Studio.
No.
Because it was so easy. You just make your own character. And I was just like, okay, all I have to do is just put the pencil on the paper now. You know, it's all there.
Yeah.
So that was a rough time in my art, my very short art era. But like now I'm like, you know, I'm still trying. And then I try to like not copy other artists, but like try to take their style and be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Also, I just found the video.
Oh god.
It was Stronger Than You. I don't know how to say her name, but Kara responds. Undertale animation parody from the channel Clara Craft.
it's so beautiful.
So
What is it
there.
called?
There you
I
go.
love animatics like to an unusual
my
amount.
God.
Like that's
Hamilton
where
animatics.
that's where I get my my taste in music from, like the 4th grade up until like the 7th grade. I was like, I'm just gonna watch animatics, and I was like, oh my god, I like this song. This is now my new favorite song.
I'm so out of my element right now. Like, I have like no idea what you're talking about.
I feel like that's interesting though, because it's like different like eras of like art, like how like
Yeah.
art gets so different.
What's it called? An animatic. So you know how you have your full drawn animation, right, where it's like fully fleshed out. Animatic is just like the beforehand stage where it's just like a character moving around.
Oh, okay.
So like it was like
Like concept.
like
Gotcha.
like a drawing board type bit where it's like, oh, you have like the action, but it's not like fully moving.
Learned
Yeah.
something today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I always watched the ones from musicals that I liked because I was a big theater kid in middle school. So I'd always watch the ones from like In the Heights and Hamilton.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were so good though. It
They
was very
were.
talented.
Mm.
I recently just watched one for the Stanley Parable, and I was like,
Oh, I
oh
heard
Yeah.
that
my
was good.
goodness, it's like they make you, ugh. But yeah. Soundtrack?
What's it called? What is something you guys picked up from like an artist you liked?
I feel like we kind of covered that.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
oops,
bit.
my bad. Sorry, I zoned out.
it's-
No, I mean, did
Oh.
we?
Yeah,
I
we
did.
We
I'm
hit on it
never
like
mind.
a little bit. What's it called? I picked up like hair, drawing hair, because you ever like draw in middle school or not in middle school. Me when I'm drawing just stick figures in middle school, in kindergarten, and it's just like downward strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I definitely play more with like volume and like little like like swoops.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun. I think it adds a lot of like whoa character to like someone.
Yeah.
Like the breaks in the hair,
Mhm.
the valley changes.
Yeah. I find that a lot of fun.
Art terminology, art terminology.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Should we write this down? Okay.
Yeah, there's a test.
Oh, there. Yeah, come
You're
on,
getting
guys.
quizzed, and currently you're failing.
Oh, no, me personally, I've picked up what's it called, like the brush type. I used to only try like really hard with like pens and like like really strong brushes, but like I recently started using more like crayons,
Ooh.
but like digitally like crayons, and it's so like I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is nice. Look at me go. It's like crayons and like pastels and like watercolors. So really that like waxy thing. It's like it's so fun. Like I really picked that up, and I'm like, damn, this is cool. I like this.
You can paint with pastels too.
Yeah,
like if
so
they're
it's like-
if they're like even if they're not water soluble, you can use a specific kind of oil, linseed oil, to paint with it.
Oh.
So, what is? I know we touched on this a little bit, but what is like your favorite medium to use?
Clay.
Yeah.
Easy,
Or, like
easy, easy.
like sculptures or just like your.
I make mugs like in my own time. In my home studio over the summers, I usually make like a series of mugs, and they have like different themes behind them, and they're like extremely elaborate. So I would consider them functional sculptures because they just take so long to make.
Yeah.
And they're made after people. Like I started off with like people from history that actually exist, like actual kings and queens. They're like I call them royalty mugs. So they're like really elaborate, and they're made after people. What's up?
Sorry, I just thought of an alliteration name: monarch mugs.
Ooh.
Oh shoot! Where were you when I started this series? That's good. Monarch mugs. I like that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So like my most recent one was like feminists.
Ooh.
Oh,
Like,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
So like an RBG mug and stuff like that. So
Oh, I miss her.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. So now I'm in that stage that I don't like, where I'm like, what's my next?
Ah.
What's my next move? Like, what am I? Am I still on that feminist streak, or am I? I don't know where to go with it now.
Yeah.
Alexia, what is your favorite type of medium?
So usually I used to only like sketch a lot and draw, but recently, like a couple years ago, I discovered paint,
Ooh.
and I used a lot of acrylics, just like the Craft Smart ones, and mostly did that. But just last year, I've started using watercolors, and I've always had a love-hate relationship with them, because once you're done with the product, it looks really good. But they're also so difficult to work with, especially since like I have no knowledge about them. But I've made a couple nice things, and I definitely need to work with them a bit. But I think I'm really gonna enjoy watercolor.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Liv?
Yeah, me personally, I'm saying like crayons, man, because it's like the fun bits about like crayons, it like adds this kind of like childish look to it. So it's like even if you mess up, it looks intentional because it's crayons, you know? It's like,
Yeah. Are you on your Bibadobi cover vibe?
oh yeah, yeah, she's so real. That's how you call her? I call her Biabadoobie.
Whenever I
Sorry,
hear her
I'm
name,
talking.
I just think of like the Jimmy Kimmel one where
Yeah,
he's
the
like,
Biba
and
Doo-
now we have Biba Doobie.
Hold on. I'll pull up the cover.
Yeah, no, because it's like, I usually only do like digital art, so it's like, it's not like actual crayons, but it's like digital crayons. So it's like real, you know? It's like, I don't know, it adds this such fun little silly look to it. So it's like, I don't need to work on it being realistic. I just need to work on it being silly.
That is,
Yeah.
I need to embody that a bit more. Like, it doesn't need to look good.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah,
Just
I gotta
create.
work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I did this thing where like I gaslight myself. So I'm like, I kind of
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm not gonna make realistic art, and I'm not gonna be good at realistic art. So I'm just gonna base my art style off not being realistic.
That's great.
And
Have you
it's
ever
working out.
seen Jean-Michel Basquiat's work? He's super famous.
I haven't.
Never
No.
even heard of it.
That's like the first thing that came to mind. Actually, I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Oh.
You've seen like a lot of his work.
Oh.
Like,
Ah,
Yeah.
that
so,
guy.
yeah, that guy. Yes.
That guy.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, cause like when you base your art style on something that's not supposed to be realistic, I feel like people are much less
It's
like
very, very
judgmental
fun.
about
Yeah.
it because it's your art style.
Well, and also like I think everybody gets in that pigeonhole of realism because that's all you've been taught
Yeah.
since elementary school. And I mean, we all do that. Like I teach Art 1 right now, and it's it's foundational class,
Yeah.
foundational skills. So we do a lot of drawing from observation, a lot. And it gets a little like, okay, are we going to do anything else? But we will when you're in an intermediate and advanced, and it's more open to whatever you want it to be. But I think because teachers teach it, like we just focus so much on realism that like everybody thinks that equates good art.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love getting whimsical. I love like whimsical writing, like creative writing where
Yeah.
it's like either a horror story or like a crazy like adventure like Narnia. I think it's so much fun. Or like art where it invokes like a childish whimsical feel where
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, we're in like space or something. I
You
think
know,
it's nice.
sorry for interrupting.
You can go.
Okay. I've actually started working on this like passion project of mine, and I feel like it's gonna help me like get into the more. It doesn't need to be like realistic thing, and it's like a fantasy like field journal, like
Ooh,
making up a
you
world.
mentioned this.
I did, and it's like just a really nice like sketchbook, and I just like fantasy journal in it. I don't know,
Yeah.
because I think my favorite. It's not really a physical art form, but like writing is definitely an art.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
for
an art
sure.
form.
But like, not when you not when you like usually think of art. But I think that would be really good to like kind of get my head in the game with like anti-realism, I guess.
Yeah.
That's-
Or like surrealism.
yeah.
There we go. Your art,
That's the
art,
word.
Art,
vocab.
yo.
Just art.
Add that to the list.
Yeah,
Add
another
that to the
vocab
list,
term.
guys.
Hey guys.
Oh,
We just talked about that today in
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
There's a test still after this.
Yeah.
You guys have
There's
to watch
still a
out.
test.
Oh, no, it's me. Hold on. My bad. Oh no.
Oh my god, 3
We're ruining the vibe.
guys.
Sorry.
You,
Twitter's going crazy.
you sound like you create a lot of art like outside of school. Is there like are you
Oh.
not taking it in school for a reason or like
It never really occurred to me. I do, like I said, a lot of like, not like visual. Well, I do fine arts more like,
yeah.
Shout out
Like-
to Fine Arts Productions.
Oh yeah! Shout out
Let's go.
to Big Fish and like
Big
everything he
Fish
did.
and-
Like
yeah.
I love like acting and writing and stuff like that. Is I think
Gotcha.
yeah. So I do a lot of that. But next year I am taking intro to 3D art, which I'm excited for.
Let's
So-
go play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope
excited.
you know it's not 3D modeling. I've had so many students that think
Yeah.
it's like digital, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
There's
day one,
graphics.
here's a hunk of clay,
No,
and
I'm
it
excited
just
for
gets
that, yeah.
everywhere.
I'm excited
I'm-
for clay. Like I really want to like get my
Yeah.
hands dirty.
It's mostly that because that's what I like. But
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
we're all a little biased,
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it called? For me, my like favorite form is sketching. I love sketching. What's it called? Hold on. I'll pull up a little doodle that I was going crazy over because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so silly.
so true.
I wanted to put it on digital. There we go.
oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Just little guys.
Is that like a character you made up?
The two little animals are, and then it's a self-insert. I tweeted about this. I was like, why did no one tell me self-inserting into like shows you like was like so much fun?
Yeah.
Because I was like thinking about this, and I was putting myself in little scenarios, and I was like, this is amazing. Why didn't no one tell me before?
Right. I feel like adding like character to like your little sketches. Like I feel like it adds so much more to the
Yeah.
art that like a lot of people like don't talk about. It's like when I started imagining like, oh, and this character does this and this character does that, like all of a sudden all these details start flowing to the art, and it's like, damn, I would never have thought about this if I was just like sketching. Like it's fun to bring like life to your little guys.
Yeah, this is to touch on your like writing stuff. I love poetry and writing. What's it
Yes.
called?
Scrapbooking. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
How to
It's
say
good.
that.
Hint or reference, inside joke.
Oh.
Hey guys.
Oh.
What's it called? I love creative writing. I think it's so much fun, and I think it's like so much fun to like think of something on the spot, right? So like if you were to like think of a phrase like spilled Oreos, right? Like several things could come to mind. Like, oh, like, well, what do you mean spilled Oreos? You don't spill Oreos, you drop them, right?
I like that.
Okay,
That's cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and write that down because I like that for like day one of art one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Brandy, part of the
Look
curriculum.
at that.
I think that's really clever. Yeah, just to like, I love prompts and just to have
Yes.
like different
Ah.
results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's so much fun.
I find it very interesting how like different people interpret different prompts. It's like,
Yes.
damn, how do you think of that? I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's so
crazy.
silly.
Sometimes I get so mad. It's like, I should have thought of that. Like
Yeah.
that would have been so cool.
You should steal it.
Yeah, steal.
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's on tape.
That's slash joke, guys. I'm
Yeah,
being
yeah.
silly.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This isn't. Oh my god.
That's
you're
gonna go in the
rainbow.
clips.
Yeah.
Build Oreos. What else?
Some funny words.
Like I like that
Yeah.
doesn't go together, but
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Wonky window.
You know, like the clocks that are like, I forgot who that's by.
What?
Dali.
Yeah.
Run a
Salvador
book.
Dali. How are you like thinking of like we literally went over this in class today.
It's my
Surrealism,
intuition,
Salvador
I'm
Dali,
crazy.
like That was like that's what we did today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Crazy.
I
I have
like-
that intuition. I'm psychic.
Yeah.
In-
What's it called? My intuition's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like betting on other people to bet on stuff. Like one time I was playing Uno,
Mhm.
and my mom was like, "I'm gonna take you down," and I was like, "That's not gonna happen. I have one card left." And or I had 2 cards left, and one of them was like a wild or whatever, where you change the color. So I looked at my aunt, and I was like, "You get to pick the color." And then when it came to my mom's turn, she switched it, but I had the same number, so I won. Yeah.
Wow.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's so real.
What's it called?
No, for me personally, that's me with rock paper scissors. When I'm playing
Oh
rock
my
paper scissors,
God.
I feel something like in my
Rock,
core,
paper,
and I go.
scissors.
Sorry, this isn't very on topic. My bad.
No, I
No.
love rock, paper, scissors.
I love rock paper scissors.
I love tic tac toe.
Yeah.
Tic tac toe is fun.
I love Connect 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suck at those. Chess. I suck at chess, but I love playing it.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's it called? The next one is a big one.
Oh boy.
Art block. Ooh. What's it called? I hate when I get into art block because I'm kind of just like, I don't know what to do. And then I kind of just like leave. Don't draw. Don't do anything for like a month. And I'm like, yo, I had this little silly plan in my head. And then I just like zone out and start drawing. What's it called? So what would you say helps you get back your creativity?
I stay in the studio when I have artist block, but I don't work on anything creative. Like I do things that make me feel productive that need to get done, but they're not necessarily creative. So if I have like right now, I don't know what I'm going to do next for the series. And they're just sort of sitting there in the bin, but I know I need to like reclaim clay. I need to mix glazes. I need to like clean up. And so I'll just like do busy work.
Yeah.
But my brain is still kind of thinking about it until
It's
something.
subconscious.
What's it
Yeah.
called? There's this lady on TikTok who who posts her reclaiming clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It looks like fun. It's
It's
fun for
like-
like the first time. And
Yeah.
then-
And then she has like the huge machine.
oh, the pug mill.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Me personally, I either take a nap or I just like forget about it, because I feel like when I'm like, because like I try like every January of every beginning of the year, I always go, okay, I'm gonna try to do one little doodle of art every day. So by the end of the year, I'm gonna be really good, right? Then it's great for 4 days, and then I stop and I don't look back until the next January.
This happens a lot with your New Year's resolutions,
Oh my
I'm
God.
noticing. I've seen that calendar.
No.
The one for this year is working out though.
Yeah?
To be more delusional.
Yeah, listen, I'm still delusional as ever, especially when it
What's
comes
it
to
called?
art
For
and also
reference,
everything.
We had, basically our entire friend group decided, well, most of our friend group decided our New Year's resolution was to get as delusional as possible. And so
Yeah.
far, it's working.
I think I'm doing great.
I
in
am.
that aspect.
There was one
I've been-
morning where I was
yeah.
going insane. I was just like thinking of stuff, and I was like, this is never going to happen.
Yeah, I've been like channeling like
Your inner delusional?
my inner delusions.
You might manifest it. It
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
What's it called? I love manifesting because I feel like it gives me an excuse to not do anything. So I go, chem test tomorrow. It's okay. My crystals got me. And
I
then
have so many crystals. I rely on them so much. Like once for finals, I had like a whole little bag of them in my backpack.
me too. I walked with them in my pocket, and I was like, "This
Yeah.
little guy got me covered." Oh yeah, for sure.
You got me,
Who needs,
Citrine.
who needs study?
Yeah, but art wise, so usually I end up taking a nap, and if that doesn't work out, I just go right. I just like try to like look at like arts and be like, this is what I could be. This is what I could be, and then I just kind of like gaslight myself and go, yeah, I should draw.
Oh, that's it. Sorry. I'm figuring out the
You're
headphones.
learning.
Learning.
Cool.
Youch.
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, for me, okay, we'll move on to the next one because I like the next one.
It's so true.
What are some shows or like movies that inspire, like animated shows and movies?
Oh my goodness. Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
yeah.
I
So true.
Loved just like tracing, and then I got good at just drawing from observation, and I just did anime for so long. And I don't
Same.
actually think I could do it that well now. Like I was good at it when I was younger, and then when I got into realism, I just like my brain just I do what I'm good at. But oh my goodness, Sailor Moon, huge. I had them all. I'm aging myself here, but like every single episode on VHS.
Ooh.
Wow.
When I was a kid, everything I've recorded everything.
That's so fun.
What's it called?
And Britney Spears.
Yeah,
Britney
and Britney
Spears.
Spears. Add that one in there.
Britney Spears.
What's it called? As you know, a big one for me was Inuyasha. But for a little bit of realism, I used to draw supernatural fan art. Yeah.
Supernatural?
Yeah.
Oh my
I was on
gosh.
the Amino.
You were the Amino.
Mhm.
Oh damn.
Are we talking about the same show, Supernatural? Like
Yeah.
Dean and
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I have 2 little Funko Pop of them, and they're still in my room. I love them. I have a mock journal that they had in the show.
Oh.
I was obsessed.
Oh my goodness.
And funny side note, I got a blanket of them, like their face on a blanket for Christmas one year. Also do I really want this out on the internet?
I was thinking about other references I could make. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to, digital footprint, guys.
Yeah. Mr. Rogers will not come to me later and go, your digital footprint says you have this blanket in your home currently. And I'd go, whoopsie doopsies.
Currently.
Yeah, we were obsessed with that show for a while. My husband and I, when we were in different parts of the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm Sam, he's Dean, and we just like yell it,
Sam.
Yeah. What's it called?
So
I
weird.
was
Find
on
each
the
other.
plane when I watched the final season, and I like bawled my eyes out. And I already have like a bad time on planes. My ears pop real bad. So like I was crying for my ears popping, and because I was supposed to like take NyQuil to sleep so I wouldn't pop my ears, but I was up. It didn't work
oh,
You were up.
because like the ear like the pressure kept me awake.
even chewing gum?
Yeah.
Huh.
I chewed too much the first time around because
I
it
heard-
hurts so bad.
Wow.
I heard sucking your thumb could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see
I
for
heard
next
chewing
time.
ice.
I tried that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad.
but where do you get ice on an airplane?
The
Flight
attendant?
attendant.
Oh,
If you ask them.
I haven't been on an airplane since I was 3,
Oh,
so I'm like
wow.
out of the loop.
If you ask the flight attendant, they should probably give it to you.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I
my
bawled
God.
my eyes out on that plane. I was
Imagine-
crying so much.
Imagine like I'm on a flight, then your mom is my flight attendant.
Oh,
and
that
she's
would-
there.
that would
That'd
be
Crazy.
crazy. Well,
What
Next time I go to
airline?
Mexico.
oh well, my mom, she works it's like a regional airline, very small. It's called SkyWest.
Okay.
So they really only fly domestic flights, but because it's such a small airline, they usually work for bigger airlines like United and Delta.
Gotcha.
So she usually flies domestically, but twice a week she goes to Mexico. So.
I'm gonna be on one of those
You-
one
yeah?
day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet your mom and I'm gonna go, hi.
Yeah, hi. Oh my god, you should invite her to the podcast.
Can I have some ice?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, back to art.
Back to
My
art.
bad.
Okay. Favorite movies or favorite TV shows and shows that inspire you? None.
No,
Do you want us to come back to you? Yeah. Alexia, do you have any that stick out the most?
I don't know. This would be easy for me to answer if you just stopped out what are your favorite TV shows and movies.
yeah.
Because I feel like for a lot of inspiration, it's like Pinterest.
Oh, what's it called?
I mean,
Me personally,
for your,
yeah.
oh, do you want to go?
no, I'm just gonna say like Twitter fan arts and
Yes.
my God.
Oh.
that's it.
What's it called? What's your favorite movie that you think has like incredible writing?
Interstellar.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
God, it made me cry. It's so mind-boggling. Can I do like a spoiler?
No,
No.
Oh,
sorry.
I can't.
Well, what's it called? I don't know who's gonna watch this. What
Yeah,
if they
true.
haven't
Okay.
seen it and they're like,
So, slight but vague spoiler alert. Towards the end, where the guy is like in the doing the thing,
yeah,
So
when
true.
the guy is doing the thing
Yeah.
with
yeah.
for the thing,
Yeah, that's what I'm
With,
saying.
with, with
It's-
the stuff? Is it with
yeah,
the stuff?
with the
Okay.
stuff, with the
With-
stuff.
with,
It's crazy. I love
Is
I
that guy
just-
there?
Is
that guy.
No
is there.
way.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a spoiler. Hey
Right.
guys,
I'm
watch
sorry.
out.
I'm sorry.
No, personally, okay, so this one, not so much the writing, but the cinematography is
I
still
love cinematography.
one of my number ones. Is Fallen Angels.
Ooh.
It's pretty sure it's Cantonese. It's like this Chinese Cantonese film, and it's just kind of like the cinematography of it is insane because I feel like it speaks louder than the words itself.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like everything about that movie, like I watched it and I like for most of the time, like I didn't know what was going on, but I knew what was going on. It was great. Like it was such a good good cinematography. It was amazing.
Sorry, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Back to the question about like art inspirations. Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
I love Studio
You just
Ghibli.
thought of that? That was gonna be it. That was like quite literally. There's a point on here that says movies, and then I was gonna put in parentheses like animated.
Yeah.
What's it called? Before we get to that, a very like I love like mystery. So I always talk about Hoodwinked. I love Hoodwinked. Hoodwinked is like it has amazing writing. Does it look awful? Yes.
Wait, is that the one with the goat that goes like did I?
Yeah.
Did I?
Did I? I'm not gonna sing the song.
Aw.
It's a musical, surprisingly.
Oh, it is?
It's a musical. Yeah. There's a part.
Is it the one with the Elton John song?
Is it? I don't know.
Is it? Okay.
I wouldn't know. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's like
Romeo and Juliet. That was the one.
yeah. Romeo and what a topical reference to Romeo and Juliet.
All right, I'm sorry. Keep going.
You're good. What's it called? But Hoodwinked is like so funny because it starts off and it's like, oh my god, there's this there's this recipe bandit, and he's on the loose, and every single animal in the entire forest got robbed. All of them sell goods. I don't know how their economy's not crashing, but every single one of them sells goods, and like they all got robbed except for there was Granny. I don't know her last name.
Granny.
Yeah, they just call her Granny.
Granny
And
Smith?
No, not Granny Smith. What is it called?
Apples?
Yeah.
It might be apples. I don't know.
Granny Smiths are the worst apples, by
They
the way.
are.
What? Oh my god.
There's
Like-
different types of apples?
What?
It's either red or
Even-
green.
There's so many.
I
Have you
love
been to an
apples
orchard?
So much.
No.
I have.
I'm gonna
They're
take you one day.
amazing.
Okay.
Ooh,
That's
You-
what-
I feel like you just you go out the house, but you don't go far.
yeah. I mean, listen, I have my little proximity limits, you know. It's like
Oh.
after a while I go,
You despawn after
I
a little
just
bit.
spawn.
What's
Do
it
you,
called?
as creative people, do you find yourself like looking at just the world around you differently?
All
like,
the time.
yeah.
Yes.
So like I have a 4-year-old, so we got to find ways to entertain her. And so we did go to an orchard, apple orchard, and they're picking stuff, they're trying things out, and I'm just looking at like, oh, that bark, that would make a really cool texture on clay. Like, oh, look at those colors in that apple. Like I was just, my brain was not at all thinking the way my husband's was or anybody else.
I'm a big photography nerd. I love photography.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning there was a puddle. It was just a puddle, but I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Oh, there's my weird photos of my friend.
Yeah, with the reflection. Yeah.
Yeah,
with
I just,
everything flooded.
I just thought it looked
So
cool.
nice.
I love taking I feel like I see everything as it's in a movie. I feel like
Yeah.
everything
You're romanticizing your life, are you?
Yeah.
a wee
Delusional.
bit delusional. It's like no, I love seeing like everything. It's like I guess that's why I started like doing like sketching and art. It's because kind of like I want to like capture these moments in a way that pictures from a phone can't. It's like everything I see. It's like even when I'm walking down the halls or I'm eating cafeteria with my friends, everything I see is like a scene of a movie, and I always feel the need to kind of like capture that and just put it in a little frame. It's
Yeah,
like,
like what's it called? You're in that exact moment. You're the only person seeing that scene.
yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
in like the whole world for the rest of history. No one will ever see what I'm seeing right now.
So
Well, it's me. That's what you're saying.
Well, yeah, but it's like you're
I-
not saying.
no.
You know,
But
it's-
wait, I get that in the sense, but instead I think of it as like the writing, like how it would happen and like what would happen. I feel like that's the lens I look at it through more.
Yeah.
And also back to the this is completely off topic. I'm sorry, but it's like oh, no one in history has ever seen it. I love thinking about how like everyone in history saw the same like sun and moon.
I've been
That's
thinking about that.
crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like, no way.
Very interesting, but not the same stars.
Yeah.
not the
Isn't
same
that
style.
crazy? George Washington could not see what we see now.
He probably
You
couldn't
probably
see.
saw more.
He definitely saw
He
more.
saw more, but he also
Damn
probably
you,
couldn't see.
pollution.
Pollution.
Light pollution.
Yeah, stars are definitely like something. So I love stars, especially like
Yeah.
'cause
They
like,
give me an existential crisis.
they
Oh.
do, but it's like to draw them, it's fun because you just go boop 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 boop
What's it
boop.
called?
Look at that.
There
Oh
was
my
one-
God.
There was once a book I read, right? I love children's books. But what's it called? I think it was it might have been an Arthur book. It probably wasn't. What's it called? But this girl's like, I want to see the stars, and then all the power goes out in the entire city, and then you can see them really good.
That's
That would not be true, right? Like if everyone turned off their lights right now and like we were just like in the darkness, there would still be light pollution. But I think it'd be so much fun if like everyone turned off all their lights, like everyone agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
And
one
then,
day.
yeah, and then you
the
could like
entire
see
world.
everything. I think that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, you know, yesterday I was looking at videos of like aurora borealis, like the northern lights.
Yeah.
First of all, that in itself is so gorgeous, but I couldn't help but notice, like, because this is like places in like the Arctic Circle, like Norway, northern Canada, like Finland, stuff like that, and I just saw like, wow, there's so many stars, because there's like not like really big cities near there.
Shout out to Finland for not
Shout out to-
having
Yeah,
that many
shout
people.
out to Finland. I think it's
And
like
Northern
the safest.
Canada.
And Northern Canada.
And Northern.
I think Finland might be one of the safest countries on earth, or like best countries.
Yeah, like those like northern countries, like Iceland. Like,
They're doing
what's-
something right.
They're doing something.
I think it's just because they don't have that many
notes.
people. they don't have enough people for them to be like, hey guys,
No.
maybe we should stop doing this specific.
Try
Yeah.
moving there and see how they treat you, though.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, no, because the thing about the only thing about them is like they get no sun,
No.
and I'm like
I love
me
sun.
personally, no, I need
Well,
sun so
there's no
They
much.
way.
get too much sun sometimes. Like
yeah.
during the winter, it's like they have days and days
Yeah.
of sunlight.
Yeah, but that's like
Yeah.
very, very north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the northern. No,
I
like
saw like a thing with like the just, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
no, like my grandma, she like lives in the middle of nowhere. She like lives in the mountains, like with her little farm,
Same.
and like nowhere, right? So it's like, so every time I go there, right, it's this extensive like long place to go, but it's like when it's night, you see so many stars, and like it's like you're entranced by it, because it's like you don't see this every day. My grandma does, but I don't, and it's like there's so many.
Yeah.
Like there's so many. I feel like that's something we miss out. There's just so many
What's
of
it
them.
called? When I went to Mexico, I wasn't able to appreciate it because I have where I stayed with my grandma, or with like in my grandma's pueblo. It's tiny, right?
Yeah.
But there's no car, so you're walking the entire day. And I'd get home at like 7, and I'd like want to pass out. I was like, I don't care that there's spiders around me. I'm going to bed.
You're going to
I'm
bed.
so tired.
I get that.
You know, back to the star thing. Like, I love space. I think that might be one of my bigger inspirations if
Yeah.
we're talking about that. I love space. But I love thinking about how, like, even the only reason we don't see stars during the day is because of our star, you know, the sun.
I like
But,
our
like,
star.
they're, like, still there. It's,
Yeah.
like, crazy.
They are still there.
I like when you can see the moon in the day.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
so
Oh,
much
it's
you're
like
not supposed to
it's
be
like,
here.
what are you doing here, you silly?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys have any like comics that you're like, this very much inspires me?
It inspires me that gets me, but
Yeah, or
yeah.
what
Like
comic
comics.
have you looked at where you're like, I want to draw like this?
Ooh. Well, like okay, so like I guess there was like this comment that like as like a child I would use it to like draw like little flip books of it back to the animation, right?
Yeah.
But so it was this Brazilian comic, right? And it's this like national character from Brazil. Like everyone in Brazil knows about this little guy. Her name is Monica, and she is like, it's her and her little like group, and like it's just like millions and millions of comics. And I feel like I just kind of like the art style. And I just would try to like draw it, and like I feel like that's like really what like got me like starting like even just drawing. It was just like because it was very easy to draw, and it was very easy to like mimic. So it would just be easy. You go choo choo choo, and look at that, and then
Yeah.
everyone would recognize it. It was very fun.
I'm not really big on comics. Like I
No.
read webtoon occasionally, but like I
Oh,
can never
webtoon.
but I can like never get into it. Oh, actually there is this one. It's called School Bus Graveyard.
Yeah, I
Oh.
was into that.
Yeah, I think I told you about it.
I don't know.
Maybe. No, I didn't.
I
Someone
keep my
else. Someone
webtoons
else.
hidden.
Oh, but that one was so good. I love the art style. And it's crazy. It's on hiatus right now. And there was like a really big thing that happened, and I'm like, oh, what happens after?
You and your little spoilers.
That wasn't a spoiler, but
Okay.
something happens.
What's it called?
Check it out.
There's this webtoon that I've been reading, and it's getting wild.
Yeah.
And like the main character is fighting for his life. He's in the hospital right now.
What webtoon?
What is it? It's Lost in Translation.
Oh.
And the drama that it happens. What's it called? It gets me. I go, please, just listen to him. He's not crazy.
Let him speak.
What's it called? You guys know, but I'm horrible with rom-coms. I'm god awful with them. I like freak out.
I love them so much.
I can't handle it. Like the internal embarrassment gets external, and I start like shaking, and I go, "Please stop, please stop."
Yeah.
Or, like outside, like I'll be reading in my head, but outwardly you can hear me go, "Stop, stop, 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 stop."
Yeah.
No, me personally, like anytime something embarrassing happens, I just pause the show and I go like do the dishes or something because I need to physically bore myself to the point where
Yeah.
I'm willing to go back and
What's
watch.
Oh my
called?
goodness. Do any of you watch The Office?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little.
Yeah.
How do you get through that if you're
Oh,
like
okay.
every scene is
It hurts.
it hurts. But I love it.
I get like back to Inuyasha. I used to have an iPad, right, and I would watch it very legally on Netflix, and I remember this vividly where I got up with my iPad and I paused it and I started walking around pacing because I could not handle the scene that was happening. I was like, please,
Please.
please think of me.
This is a really recent example.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I was watching the movie The Darkest Minds.
Mm-hmm.
Came out a couple years ago, and it's like these kids get a disease, and like the survivors get like superpowers and
Yeah.
all that, and like this one girl is like one of the most dangerous superpowers, and so like there's that, and then she finds this like group of other kids who escape. They like stuff. And there's this one bit where one of the characters finds like a red dress and gives it to the main character because there's love in this movie, obviously. And like she like puts it on, shows like the guy that have like the blooming relationship, I guess. And I was like, bro, you just met. Like, please take no.
Yeah, no, I
take
can't
that
handle
elsewhere.
that.
Yeah,
It's
especially when it's like it's just like a normal like storyline and then they add love in the middle of it. I'm like, stop.
Like Hunger Games. Like
Yeah. I was reading this dystopian book and it's a dystopian
God.
book. It's dystopian, not romance, dystopian. And all of a sudden they just put a random love plot in it. And I'm like, stop that right now.
What are some? Do you guys have any like specific fan animations? We touched about a little bit about this in the beginning. Any fan animations that you were like, whoa, this is crazy?
I have some.
Yeah.
Like I said, theater kid
Yeah.
in middle school. Hamilton animatics and like animations too. There's this one artist called Szin, Szin, and their like animations are so good. They're so smooth. I love the style. It's like wait, what was the question again? I kind of forgot about
What was it called? Do you have any like fan animations? Or we could touch on Ghibli movies now.
Oh.
Yeah, what's it called?
I have no idea what like.
Oh,
You don't know
Okay.
Studio Ghibli?
Wait, okay, so before
I'm like sitting here
Yeah.
as you're
Yeah.
talking.
yeah.
Googling.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you said you refused to watch that one show with
Yeah.
your 4-year-old. Which ones would you watch with her? Like which child movies?
Anything on Disney.
Do you
I'm
let her
good.
watch SpongeBob?
I
Yeah.
love SpongeBob. Oh my
No?
God.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
do? Okay,
she's
good.
She's too young
Oh.
for it, but like my husband loves shows.
Yeah.
Like he's
It's like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
What's it
is
called?
can
I
you
just showed Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Oh, I
What's
love
it called?
that. Oh my god.
I watched Bluey, but I had to stop because I kept
It's the-
crying.
I can't-
Yeah,
No.
everyone started watching Bluey. No, me personally, like
Hey, I was a leader in that.
Yeah.
I was the trendsetter.
You were the trend. Yeah. No, I started watching My Little Pony recently.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
And
goodness.
I love My Little Pony.
I was sitting there and I was like, this is a good children's show. This is good.
My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
What's it
sitting there.
called?
Going,
Can we talk about how children's shows they gotten worse? What's it called?
Yes. Yeah.
Seasons like
Yes.
1 through 5 of SpongeBob peak. Amazing writing. I make references to SpongeBob every single
Is
day.
SpongeBob children's though? Like
Well, technically yes,
like
but
10.
like,
It's
if
definitely,
you
yeah,
think
like
about
10.
it, not really. It has amazing writing.
Oh my
though.
god, one of my favorite things. It's like, oh, what's this? Squidward is like, oh, what's this sweater made out of? And SpongeBob is like, eyelashes, and it's so funny. I love SpongeBob.
It's like, sponges don't even have eyelashes. How do you know what that is?
I have a sea sponge in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why'd you kill him?
I
Does
went
he
to
eat
the
Krabby Patties?
no.
Oh,
I went to the sea sponge capital of the world.
Where?
that's a thing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
Where?
it's not in Clearwater, but it's like near Clearwater, Florida. It's like Saint something, Saint Augustine,
Clearwater.
St. Augustine.
maybe. I don't know.
But-
Just search up sea sponge capital of the world or of the United States. Whatever. It was a big deal. Big deal. Back to SpongeBob.
Back to SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is like one of the main influences of like me loving water, or like drawing water. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, Tarpon Springs. Sorry, that's the sea sponge capital of the world.
Tarpon Springs.
What's it called?
And I went there and got a sponge.
Yeah.
You got a sponge?
Yeah.
Would you say you like? Well, we touched on this a bit. You live. Would you say you like putting narratives into your art? Like, so you creating a little story behind several pieces.
Yeah, that's like my main inspiration. It's just like my memory, like what I was like thinking and feeling at that exact moment, and I try to incorporate it as much. Because it's like when I look at photos, I think of the memory, but I kind of want to look at photos and like kind of like feel what I felt. So it's like I feel like when you draw it, it's much more personal, and like I feel like you, especially like with you draw, you as like the artist of the artwork, like when you look at it, like you feel exactly like what you felt when going through this painting. That's kind of what I want to incorporate through like me drawing. It's just like want to, it's like my biggest,
For me, it's more of like I hear a song and I think of like a little storyline.
Yeah.
Like if there's a song, I go, okay, how this starts, it would be like this scene and a person doing this, they're sitting in a corner and like they get up and it's like a pan shift where it's from a lower angle and then you're suddenly in an action scene. It's like stuff like that where I like envision like a storyline playing out. So basically, I just picture a music video. Or like I get vibes from a song and I go, ooh.
I do that to a horrible extent. I do it with like every song I listen to.
so true.
I always connected a lot with like books and movies that I like too, and TV shows.
Yeah. Do you want to take a gander at this question?
I mean, yeah, my like the series I make usually has a it's the Monarch mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of like, yeah. That's mine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I'll
Put your
yeah,
name
but I
on
mean,
it.
like I feel like we covered that earlier.
Would you guys ever consider doing art for a job? And obviously, you do have
Yeah,
a job that revolves around art.
Crazy.
I'm one, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually one of the only ones in my program that actually pursued like an art career. The other people that graduate, mind you, it was a small program. Like I was at Loyola, which is not an art school.
Yeah.
So there was not that many of us. But when I became an art teacher and was, like started my Instagram and Etsy and all of that, like I had some of them contact me like, I do like realty now, and I do this like totally like marketing, just like things that marketing does a little bit, but like, oh, you're like the only one that actually like did anything with your art degree, and it just made me so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Made
it
me so
called?
sad because this is like, it's
Art needs to be like more pursued.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like art in itself is a very hard job to pursue in general. Because like I guess like you're working as like a teacher as well, so like as an educator is also like I feel like those go hand in hand. But especially if you don't like teaching, it's like you're like sustaining off. You're just basing your like income off if people want to buy your artwork or not.
yeah, but that's like, but that's just like freelance art.
Yeah.
There are so many jobs out there that just require actually every job requires like a creative mind, creative thinking, creative problem solving. But I would consider like I did commercial interior design. It was called visual merchandising. That was my title for 4 years before I went back to school to be a teacher. So I wasn't one of those people that thought I would teach when I was younger. And I tried like a lot of different stuff. Like I did that for 4 years. I applied for video game design, which I didn't get that job. They told me I wasn't enough of a gamer.
Oh, wow.
My portfolio was really great, but I didn't know enough about video games.
What if you wanted to be a game? What if you wanted to go to heaven, but God said, "Are you a gamer?"
And I mean, like there was a position for murals for like rich people. There was just like so many positions there, working at galleries and I stayed at that job for 4 years because I did feel like the part of me that needed to be creative was fulfilled. Like I could be creative. I mean, I wasn't on the pottery wheel and I wasn't oil painting, but I was specifically hired because I had an art degree, not an interior design degree, because she wanted somebody that like thought outside the box, versus versus being so specific and pigeonholed. And not that it's like interior design is great, it's just that like you learn specific software, and I just learned that on the job. Like I learned more broadly about color theory and design and all of
Yeah.
that. I'm like, but like anything on the computer, like it's just going to change anyway. You know, you take a class like computer graphics in college,
It's like
and
different.
then
like
3 years
5
later it's different.
Yeah.
They just have an update. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it
I
called?
I really love like the artistic aspect of like interior stuff, and I hate how like everything is getting so like modernized. Like, you know, like the
Yes.
sleek black like
Oh my God.
brutalism. It's like, no, have the pretty colors.
Can I just say, okay, so I want to be an architect, right? So
Yeah.
it's like I recently started an internship in interior design, and that's one of the things I was noticing. It's just like there were very few unique and colorful pieces because everything was that big, modern, expensive, you know, it's like normal,
box.
same design, box, you know, same colors, bland colors. And it's like, this is something I would buy if I wanted to feel like, and I was in an Instagram photo. Like, I feel like it's lacking so much personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you buy, like, a silly couch, it's like, you know, it may not be, like, the most comfortable and it may not be, like, the most expensive, but it's silly and it has a personality.
Yeah.
No, for me personally, I would buy a comfortable couch.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be made out of cardboard, but it's like, if I had to pick between, like, a lesser quality silly couch between a $10,000 ugly couch, I'd go with the silly one.
Yeah.
I get that.
There's a lot of more, like, there's just so many more nuances to it, though, too. Like, you can look at 20 shades of beige or black or white. Like, they're all different.
They all-
And they all have, like, warm, cool tones, and then you have to, like, figure out what works with that. Like, you can have hardwood and a beige wall, and you're wondering, like, why on earth does this look so odd? They're both neutrals. Shouldn't they look great together? No, because they might not have the same undertone. There's just, you know, like, there's, when you, like, really
Yeah.
look in depth with it, you need to know, like, a lot of color theory.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah. But I guess there's, like, also kind of, like, straying off topic, but, like, this is, like, also, like, how people are talking about modern art. Like while looking back at, like, Renaissance era art. It's, like, now when you go into museums, they're like, oh, why is this, like, blank white canvas on a museum wall, you know? It's, like, but it's, like, I find it interesting how, like, you know, as time goes, it's, like, the meaning of art changes
It changes
significantly.
a lot.
Because, like, I feel like back in, like, the Renaissance era, there was no photos. So you had to rely on the painting. But, like, now that we have photos, like, I feel like people are just going back into a simpler.
Yeah. What's it called? Shout out to
More.
AP World for learning about the Renaissance.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh.
Yo, shout out to Mr. Rife.
What's it
Oh
called?
my God, love her.
Miss Mulligan, there's your shout out. What's it called? But yeah, I think it's very cool that the Renaissance was mainly focused around like portraying everyday life. And now that we have photography, that's what some people use to portray everyday life. Like I
Yeah.
think there's a little bit of artistic in like everything. Like you could just take a photo of like a corner of something and you go, wow, this is a very bland corner. Or you can go, that's life right there. Like that is life in every aspect just because it's real.
I'm like looking around the
Yeah.
room. Just
Yeah.
like, wow.
It's like when you look at like a painting from like the Renaissance era, like it's that thing where it's like you feel it, like you like especially the way they use the colors, like you could like kind of like feel there's like this one painting. I don't know the name of it, but I think you're gonna know. It's like that one painting of like the ballerinas. I think it was a Spanish painter. I could be completely
Degas?
wrong. Yeah, maybe it's like, you know, like the ballerinas like getting ready to go perform.
Yeah.
And it's like when I look at that painting, like I can feel like the nervousness, like, oh, they're getting ready, they're about to go perform. You know, this was like what, the 1600s? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like it's
Degas, right?
yeah, I think it was that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And it's like you can like feel like the tension, like, oh, they're like really training because, you know, it's ballet, it's a hard dance. It's like it's amazing how like he incorporated with the colors and the motions, like everything, so like you would feel like you were in the artwork.
So what you're talking about is impressionism
Maybe.
and expressionism. Like that's not so. The Renaissance was more, you know, your posed
Yeah.
portraits sort of a thing. You know, like they didn't have a whole lot of emotion in it. It was just like skill. And then when artists started moving away from that, that's when you have like Monet and Van Gogh and Degas, and that's like impressionism
Art term.
and expressionism.
Expressionism.
Yeah. And there's a difference between the two. There's post-impressionism. There's, you know, all of that. But yeah, Degas is an impressionist, and it's more about like it's exactly what you're talking about. So like
Yeah.
you know exactly what it
I'm
is. You just
talking- I
didn't
just
know
don't
the
know it,
word.
yeah.
You didn't know
Yeah.
the term.
Yeah,
But
this
that's
is why you're being
that's
quizzed.
the
I'm being
intention.
quizzed.
That's the intention behind impressionism is like kind of just capturing a feeling and light and the moment, not so much realism.
Yeah.
You know, so. Like Monet stuff, he would paint the same thing over and over and over again.
I love his stuff.
And
Yeah, and but in like different times a day, because that's what it was about. It was just all about light.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm at the art institute, I like spend like hours. I could spend hours there, like just looking at like and like tearing everything apart, like
Oh my god.
metaphorically.
Never let Alexia into the art museum. You heard it
Yo,
here.
don't let her in.
This is the
Bring him
second
in, yeah.
second time.
Second time. It's happened before.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't
okay.
find that. It's a digital footprint.
Digital footprint.
Digital footprint.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not very art educated, but I guess that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's like, I feel like what was more impressive was, like, I guess the details. Like, especially, like, when they're, like, since they're still, there are so many little details. So
Yeah.
little. And it's like, it makes the whole painting. It's insane.
Yeah, what's it called? Going back to like the modern art, I think modern art is very, very interesting, right? Because I can't get out of my head enough to like think about stuff like retrospectively. So if like there's like just a line on a painting, they're like, what does this make you feel? I'd go absolutely nothing, man. It's just a line.
Yeah.
So modern art is not like my favorite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like there's a point to where it's like a bit like, nah, that's
Yeah.
Like I've seen enough squares, man.
Yeah.
Enough.
Not a Picasso fan.
Picasso's
Picasso's
he's an
different.
No,
interesting
because
man.
it's different. Because I feel like,
Sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is nice, and other times I'm like, what are you trying to tell me here?
Yeah. Picasso is like different from like just like a blank canvas with like
a
like
dot.
squares.
Yeah.
Picasso is like the perfect example of being a ridiculously amazing realism artist, and then just deciding like,
Just nah.
Yeah, like nah.
like
Okay.
Yeah.
you know, like okay, now what? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how am I going to push this and make something that's my own style?
Yeah, he's crazy for that though. Like
He was real.
If he was, I think it's nice to not be like pointed down to one thing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
That's why like I'm not gonna answer that. You can
Yeah.
just cut all this,
Okay.
but that's like I'm like getting pointed towards one thing. Like I would love to like be able to like explore everything that I can. But it's just like with the model that we have of the world, that's just like not possible.
You want this cut, right?
Yeah. Just
right,
I'm
yeah.
just saying sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
It would have sounded weird if I just said like, wait, actually, nah, never mind. So just
Yeah, I'll
cut
it
all
off.
this.
Yeah.
This is the cut point.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no, because the thing about Picasso, I feel like it was, again, his art style. It's like you can't really critique it on not being realistic enough because that's his art style. And that's what I really like. It's also like, he like, you know, he's expressing something in his paintings. And I find that very interesting. It's like, you know, I feel like that's what a lot of like modern art lacks. It's like, it has meaning. It just lacks expression. It's like telling, not showing.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So I feel like, I guess that's like the main difference. Like before it would be like more show, don't tell. And now here's just tell, don't show.
What do you think of like the people going and like? Oh, well, I'll probably cut this. But what do you think about the people like going and throwing like tomato soup on like old paintings?
That,
To what?
Tomato soup. Have you seen that? Well, they're
Oh, they
like,
threw it on like Van Gogh's like
Yeah.
sunflowers
Uh-huh.
that one time.
and then they threw, and then like,
Google.
and they like spilled like soda on the Mona Lisa.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah, that
thought
makes me
that was
angry. It's
crazy.
like, girl, can you just like not?
Yeah, like this is the wrong
Yeah.
way to show your message,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, how is that gonna help like with
What you want.
like with like anti like gas and
Uh-huh.
oil
It's
stuff?
just, it's
I think
just
that's
gonna
what
make
it was
you
about.
seem like a little like not going for the right cause.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's it called? We'll go on to the next little anecdote here.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah,
Would you
climate
guys-
protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys attend art school? Now you did not, but like, would you ever go back?
That's a tough question.
Mm.
I mean, if I knew then where I'd be now, I probably would go a different direction. Like I would have gone to like the Art Institute or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just, I think this is not a popular opinion, and I don't even know if you're going to include this in your
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
podcast, but like I'm super pro social media and YouTube, and I
love
just think there's so much that you can learn. Like I'm mostly self-taught. You know, I took 2 ceramics classes, but that's like my main medium that I work in, and it's because of YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know, I learned so much from other artists that are currently working and make a living off of it. That I don't know. I mean, I would if it's like something you need a license for. You know, like
Yeah.
you need a license to be a teacher, especially if you're going to teach high school. There's so many art classes that are required. But just to like, if you're just like, I really want to learn how to sculpt, like just
Do it.
Yeah.
just like go on
What's it
YouTube.
called?
Like I
It's
just think there's so much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My husband is a school counselor, so I get a lot from him too, where it's like he gets nervous with students that really want to go to art school, but then like if they're from a low income family, are they going to generate income later to kind of pay off their loans? Because schools are like $50,000 now.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it worth it? How are you going? You have to have a plan somehow. Like, how are you going to do that? Most of the people that are successful on social media that are artists, they're self-taught. Like, they did not go to art school.
Yeah.
It's crazy for me. Like one time I was drawing shoes and then it clicked. Anatomy just like came in and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, I feel like definitely a lot of the stuff I've learned has not been like, oh, I've been in art class and we were talking about this today, or we were like looking in a book on how several artists beforehand did this, or we were learning about realism in the Renaissance.
Yeah.
It's mostly just been like, oh, I like how this artist draw this, so I'm gonna try to draw it similar, or I like how like this specific pose looks, so why don't I play around with like positioning
Yeah.
and like framing stuff.
It's if you're required to have a certain classes or skill set, I am for it. But if you're like, I'm going to make a living off of being an illustrator, I mean, that's really hard.
That's
They're all
very
contracted. Like, there's no full-time job for that. You're just, if you're
Working.
lucky to be contracted enough to, like, make a decent living. So, I don't know. I'm not, that's not a popular opinion, though. Like, most of the art teachers in the district are like, yes, go to art school, go to art school. I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like art school would be like definitely like interesting. It's like I feel like it's good because it keeps you like going like like it lets you know where you are, right? It like it's like because I feel like on YouTube it's very easy to get lost because I feel like you can go like from this one to that one. It's like all these different things. But I feel like art school will like keep you like in a periodic motion, like oh, doing realism and this and this. But then I feel like it also I guess limits you a lot. I guess that's what I get from like art school. I feel like it limits you because I feel like everything I do, it's not because of my creativity, but it's because of my grades.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be my major problem. It's like art school just kind of like turn art that's something supposed to be fun and creative into something that will like make your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like it like ties you down.
I've considered like before I came to Hersey, it's my first year here. There was a moment where I was like, I think I'm going to take a year off and just sell my mugs because I sell them for a lot and there's like a following, you know. And then my husband's like, don't do it. Like what relaxes you is gonna become your stressor.
Oh yeah. That's
You know, and you don't want that either. Like that's not the case for everybody, but I know that would be the case for me. And this is like the perfect medium where I get to be creative, I get to like kind of mentor other people, but I'm not like depending on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like my biggest fear when it comes to like having a job solely based on like creativity. Like it scares me of like, oh, what if one day I get like super tired of it and I just like can't anymore, or like I need to take a long break and that would like gravely affect my like income going forward. So like that's like a major stressor for me, and mainly one of the reasons that I decided not to take art class, because I was like, I'm into photography right now.
Yeah.
I've been into it for a while, and it currently does not feel like a task where I'm like, oh, I just need to get it done just for the grade. And like I felt like if I went into art, I'd get like trugged up in that.
Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Lane also does like a good job of that with like pacing.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Lane.
Mr.
Yeah,
Lane,
literally.
major shout out.
He's a bro.
Yeah, because I feel like the good thing about Mr. Lane, he isn't like strict on like deadlines.
Oh, he isn't.
He's just like, here's what you have to do. Do it by the end of the semester. And I
Literally.
feel like that gives you so much more freedom. It's
Yeah.
like,
Cool guy.
That's how it
Yeah.
should be. Like
That's how it should
deadlines
be.
are the biggest killer. Like,
well, sometimes you need deadlines.
sometimes you need
Sometimes, yeah.
deadlines,
but like,
but not creative deadlines. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like, sure, math homework, okay, I get it. But like,
that's what I meant. Like for
No,
creativity,
no,
it's
no.
like
Your math
can't-
teacher's gonna
you
get rid of
can't
all
rush
deadlines.
yo,
Starting today.
starting today, no more math. Yippee.
When you're talking about art school, are you talking about like an art school or just art classes? Like, let's say, like I went to Loyola. That's not an art school, but I took art classes there. So, like, what differentiating between those two?
I guess art school in the sense where you're going there as kind of like to get a degree on it.
In art, yeah.
In art, like if you're going to get like a degree in art, I feel because like if I went to like art classes, like if I went to like an art class here, I feel like I'd generally like maybe I'd like probably enjoy that. Like I feel like because it doesn't have like gravity to the name. It's just like, oh, it's an art class in high school,
Yeah.
compared to it's an art class for my degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, here I'm not paying for anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this won't impact my life majorly.
Yeah.
But it's like if you go to an art school, that's like $50,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's money, and then that's time, and it's like it's like if you graduate from it, and then it's like, what if art doesn't go well? Are you gonna go back to school, another 50,000? You know, so I guess it has
Yeah.
like
That's what.
Right. You have to have a
gravity to it.
plan, and you gotta
That's
kind
what
of you have to
scares
like
me a lot.
pair it with something.
Yeah.
You know, like I think, especially now, again, like I'm super pro social media, and that I think that's a valid living. They would have benefited from business classes and pairing art with business to understand how to run your own business, because that's what it becomes ultimately. Like you're self-employed, right? And workshops go a long way. Like for ceramics, especially, like I think it's kind of what you were saying. Like you know where you're at, and if you're progressing, but you get that same thing with a workshop or a community from a classroom in a community college. You know. Actually, I went to Loyola because I was going to be an anaplastologist, which is a facial prosthetics, like prosthetics of the face. And because Loyola is like more, you know, you go there more to be pre-med or nursing or something like that. I thought that'd be good. And then I changed my mind. But for that career, like you need half of your classes need to be art classes and half of them are science classes. And so, you know, like I was like, I'm going to get a degree in art because I need it. And I'm going to also get one in biology. So depending on the career, you know, you got but that took like research. I had to, because that doesn't exist. There's no degree in anaplastology. It doesn't exist, you know, so I had to just kind of Google away and ask people.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
kind of wing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
That sounds very interesting though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many careers out there that like you just don't even know exist. I feel like when I went to, you know, I'm first gen, my parents didn't go to college. And so when I'm here at Hersey and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to be a teacher, a lawyer, or a doctor. Like those are my options. Like what else is there? You know, you just,
It is kind of hard for like to think of that, because like deep down, like I would love to like go to school for like something artistic, but I also know like that doesn't always work out. That's like 1 in a million people. Whatever. Because like that would be amazing, but like, so I know where I want to go, but I also need to know where my backup is. And but like, because like I wish I didn't need one, because like I don't know if I'd be like actually happy doing something else like other than something artistic. But I know that I'd be good at it. Like I'm pretty good with like science stuff, like math, English. That's like, I'm pretty good in all those subjects. And same thing with art though, but I enjoyed art significantly more. So like it's like in my mind, it's like at war. It's like, I really want to do this, but then like, what about this?
Yeah.
And it's just like terrifying to think about, because like, oh, that's what you got to do for your whole life.
yeah, but can you imagine then like forcing yourself to go into accounting and you hate it
Oh,
just for the money? Like,
I'm scared.
like most of your life is spent working and sleeping. So have a good mattress, a very expensive mattress, and a job that you actually enjoy.
I have a great mattress.
You know, that's, you know, so do I. And I enjoy coming here.
Would you want to sign like with a company to like produce your art, right? So like if you wanted to do art as a living, right? Would you go to like a company and go, I'll design like a bunch of like logos and stuff for you. I'll come with like marketing gimmicks or like just marketing graphics for you. Would you like picture that for yourself?
No.
I don't think I like even have the capacity to do that. Like I don't think my art would be like, my art is purely for like my self enjoyment. It's like all for me, so I feel like
Yeah, but like I'm talking about like, would you create like little like Dynamo characters? You know, like the Go-Gurts?
Oh.
Tough
I don't know.
reference.
I don't think so. I feel like it's the same thing with the art schools. Like it's gonna tie you down.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not gonna let you to explore. Your
Yeah, but it would give
creative
you
liberties.
like a lot of it would grow your portfolio.
Oh, it would. Well, it depends like how long. Like if it's like, okay, it's a contract for like 5 years, I'm like, wait a minute. But if it's like, you know, it's like maybe it could be like a side job.
And are you like money motivated. You know
Yeah.
how like some students are like truly like into like learning and they don't care if they get a B or a C as long as they're the experience is positive. But some are like really like I was really grade oriented. Like I needed that A.
Yeah.
You know, so some people are money oriented. So a lot of those contractual jobs, like they don't pay that well. You know,
Yeah.
you'd think somebody that illustrates for Adult Swim, you know, like your Family Guy and all of that.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
so
awful.
bad.
It's so bad, and that's surprising, right? Because you're like, oh, everybody watches that. You'd think they make like they're the you can't have that show without that artist, right? But like that artist quit to work at my previous district,
Oh.
and I was like, what are you doing here? Like this doesn't because that. If I'm being honest, like some teachers don't get paid very well, right? Like we all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't you take a pay cut? And he's like, no. He's like, I didn't have insurance. I didn't have sick days. I didn't have. It was like it was all
that's
contractual,
crazy.
you know.
Whoa.
So I mean, like he's like, I want to have a family. So it's still creative. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
But he gets that stability and
Yeah.
everything, you know, like the benefits. It was like really eye opening. Like
Yeah,
some of the
That's crazy.
creative careers that you would think are well paid, they just treat artists horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same thing like all over because I've heard the same thing about like manga artists like in Japan. It's like
Bad.
the horrible treatment. So it's like, why is it so horrible? Like this is such a big industry, right?
Literally.
It's like,
like
you'd think it'd be better.
yeah, sorry, I totally interrupted you, but like people they don't know it, but like we wouldn't survive without like entertainment and like art.
Yeah.
Like during especially like the pandemic,
Awful.
like
my
everyone was like binging everything, and you can't have that without artists and actors and editors
They're
and
like
all
the backbone.
that jazz. They are.
Backbone of
Backbone.
society.
Backbone of society. It's just art.
So, there's art club. Art club's a thing. Shout out to art club.
So the QR code in the Commons for Art Club takes you to a calendar
Ah.
with all the meeting dates.
Oh,
So sometimes it's every week, sometimes it's every other, sometimes
Yeah.
it's Tuesdays, sometimes it's Wednesdays, Thursdays. There's just a lot of students that can't do just Wednesdays exclusively.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the
I'll
art
check
room,
it out. I'll
Yeah,
check it
fun.
out.
Look at that.
calendar. Oh,
I actually saw the little papers.
Papers.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a
I know.
paper.
I've got this
Spread
is
the
this is
word.
my life now. This is what kind of teacher I am. Everything's just like crumpled up.
Yeah.
I have it, but it's
You
like
have it.
organized chaos.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I have
Yeah.
it. It's just a disaster. So
Love organized.
I love
Oh,
having
look at
let's
that.
go.
Whoa.
Liv, can you pass me?
Oh,
just raining QR codes.
Raining
So
QR
cute.
codes out there. That was a bad throw.
Yippee.
You
I
get
got
one.
Oh, this is
You
crazy.
get
You
an
get
art
your-
club.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of those in the
Come
queue.
on.
I have to tomorrow. I'm gonna try to put them around the building a little bit more because there's so many people that are not on the art club remind
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like have no idea when we meet. So
All right.
Yeah.
So there's your art club promo. And on that note, that's the end of this episode. Special thanks to my very dear friends, Liv and Alexia.
Yippee!
Thank
And
you for having us.
And a special thanks to Mrs. Ibrahimovic for joining us.
Yeah.
Yippee!
happy to be here. This is fun.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll have another episode, and
Oh.
it probably will be the same random chaos as this
Yeah.
one.
Yippee.
Thank you again, viewer, for listening. I have been your host, Brandy. I'll see you next time.